Yeah, it's great. You know, remembering the energy of the vortex.
Speaking of the energy of the vortex, you have just tuned into the upper room, and I am your host, Eugene Holden, and just so very, very grateful to do this almost every week on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, almost every week. And today, man, I am so grateful, so blessed, so honored to have two of my favorite brothers from way back when. I got the Reverend Round Blair, who is in Illinois this time, these days. And then have my brother Charles Hall. Both of these brothers have been in my life for a number of years, and just so honored and so glad to be here with them today. Charles, where are you?
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yeah.
You ever thought?
And I'm,
You ever?
what's that?
You ever asked me if you ever thought I'd be living in Santa Fe, New Mexico? There's no way. Talking about surrender to the path, let go.
Right.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go. Cool, man. Cool. So I want to start this out. I'm not even going to direct this to any particular person. I'm just going to say what's on your heart. What is it that you want to share with us today? And then we'll talk about we'll get into it. What's up? What's up? Okay, never mind. I wasn't going to share. I wasn't going to direct it, but Spirit goes. My brother Ron Blair, what's on your heart today, bro? I gotta go with the guidance.
I'm really listening to when I hear myself say God is all there is, and God is love, and everything is under and in divine order. I want to hear, what am I saying is wrong? See, what am I saying is wrong with life that is perfect, whole, and complete?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it breaks down to realize nothing's wrong with it. It's always, what am I saying about it that makes it wrong, that makes it unbearable, makes it challenging, makes it a problem? What am I saying? Because God said it's perfect, whole, and complete. So it's that's on my heart, because I'm listening to the world and what the world is sharing, and I'm not hearing peace.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not hearing peace. I'm hearing fear. I'm hearing fear, and it's not about trying to use the finite mind to figure out anything anymore. I just don't know. So it doesn't serve me to go into that type of thinking. What I'm realizing is that, can I make myself available to that already knows, and already knows my part? Can I surrender to it and then become a witness to my purpose of life? Because I'm realizing that this is not my life. It's the life of the Creator, and I'm His creation that get to experience it perfect, whole, and complete, with no boundaries or limitations. And choosing to live from that place now, it just makes things more interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Ron, let me jump in here real fast. There was something that you said, now it's like, can I surrender to that? And the answer to that question of course is, well, you can, because the definition of the word can is having the ability to do so, right? So then the question for me is, will I surrender to it?
Exactly.
Yeah, of course I can, but will I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. Do I want to? And when I'm at that point, where I can ask that question, do I want to? That means that I'm clear on whatever choice I get to make.
Exactly.
Say, well, yeah, because if I don't surrender to it, man, life doesn't feel as good as it can.
Exactly. And that's the difference I'm realizing in freedom.
Yeah.
Just choosing to be free. And what I'm realizing, I just need to be free of my own thinking.
That's right.
See, let me just be free of my own thinking, and then I get to experience freedom. Because no matter what's going on in the world, I'm always left up to my own perception of it.
Right. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. I love what, first of all, my heart's full right now. Being with you too in this moment is a tremendous blessing. I love the idea of can. What does can mean? Is the ability to do so. And so if I have the ability to do so and I'm not, then I have to ask myself, how much am I interested in suffering?
Come on.
Because then I get into suffering, which is, if I have the ability to do so and I'm not, then I'm more interested, like Ron B saying, I got to get out of my own thinking, you know. One of the things you said too, Ron, was, can I align with that which is perfect, whole, and complete, the Creator? Can I align with it? How do you do that now?
Well, you know, I'm realizing the how is not my business, because I don't know how. The key is going back to what Eugene reminded me of is, am I going to be willing to that?
Okay.
The how is not my business. See, but the willingness allows me to experience it because there's nothing to prevent that.
That's right. What are some of the ways that you found that it shows up when you're willing? How does it grace you? What happens?
What I realize is that there is no thought taking place.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a true, pure experience taking place. And I get to experience me. And I get to observe me. I tell my girl today, I said, you know, I love you and you are so big a part of my experience, but my focus is on me.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
My focus is watching how I'm being with her, how I'm being with me.
Right.
See? And then the process really becomes letting go. That's the way I'm experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, there is no how, there is that willingness. And then there is the experience.
I want to stay on this how, right? So how do I become willing?
You already are.
Oh, but if I'm experiencing something that I don't like, and I keep doing it because it's a habit, right? And I want to change that habit of knocking my head up against the wall. This does not work. This is not working for me, but I can't help it. How do I change that? Or another way to put that same question, how, is what do I do to change it?
Well, again, I'm always going to go back now. What do I believe in? What do I say God is? That is far beyond a name, concept, idea, thought, or belief.
That's fundamental. Yeah.
What am I saying it is? And then it comes back to, then what do I say that I am?
Who am I saying? Yeah, what do I say? Who am I in this? Right.
Exactly. Now, right. It just comes down, what am I willing to experience?
Right.
Okay. And then from there, things start to happen.
Yes.
See, things start to happen. It's not by my efforting.
It's just by allowing.
Yes. That's accepting and allowing. Those are the things that are so important in the journey I'm finding.
Oh, man. That acceptance thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The last few years, I realized, and we spoke just a little bit about this before we came on live, is that, well, not exactly, but what I had done I became a minister young, and I've been part of the spiritual walk for a long, long time. But what I realized is that I had adopted, I've been blessed to be around extraordinary people. The two of you being two of them, for real. And the ways that we got to walk together and other people. Right. And what I realized is that I had adopted somebody else's idea of what the Spirit was, what the Creator was, what this thing is. I had adopted it from them, and I kind of took the easy road and just said, that sounds good. That looks good. It looks like it's working. And there's some wisdom to that, right?
Right.
But it's still somebody else's idea, right? It's like anytime anybody stands on a pulpit, I can be fed and listen and get it, but they're still talking about their walk with it, which isn't my walk with it. Right. I can just be inspired and assimilate and osmosis and all that kind of stuff. So the last couple of years, exactly to Ron B, what he's talking about is that I said, I need to know you, this thing. I really need to know it. And so I've got written up on my board over here, finally, is it just kept whispering to me. It said, my name is Harmony. It said over and over, my name is Harmony. And it is the way that Ron B is defining it or declaring it or speaking it into being right now is exactly, it's like, this thing is perfect, whole, and complete. All that I have is the adventure, the journey of perceiving it.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's it. I mean,
harmony. My word for harmony is, even in the war, even in the the hunger and all that. There's a harmony there, but we don't dig deep enough, or we can dig deeper to perceive the harmony that exists, and then things change from there. So that's it. It's harmony. It's perfect. Then it just becomes a perception. I need to work to see it.
Exactly. I mean, once I realized that it wasn't my life, and that the laws tell me it's done unto me as I believe, then I'm just really listening to what am I believing and realizing that this is a life of the Creator I get to experience. The moment I quit calling it mine, it freed me up to have a greater experience. Because now I'm no longer responsible for what I call my life, because it's not mine. What I'm responsible for is the way I'm viewing it, the way I'm experiencing it, because my experience is done unto me as I believe.
And those experiences, depending on what the belief is, right? Those experiences, in my case, used to slap me up against the head because I believed I was less than. And what I love about the Creator, what I love about this thing called God, that infinite intelligence that is guiding our direction, God, right? What I love about it is it gives us the freedom to experience the life the way that we perceive it. Right?
Exactly.
So if I perceive it, right, and so if I perceive me as being less than, like, okay, well, I get to experience that, right? Now, isn't that a powerful thing, though?
It's the most powerful thing, because it's done with love.
Right.
No matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Yeah, no matter what it is, it's done out of love. It's the love the Creator has given His creation to make up its own choices. And it's going to love me unconditionally, no matter what choice I make.
Right. And then like given. Go ahead.
Well, no, it's like what the Oracle said to Neo in the Matrix. I just make up your own damn mind.
What you want?
I want you to do what you want. What I've always wanted you to do. Make up your own damn mind.
Make up your own mind. You can get with this, or you can get what one of the things I keep saying to clients and students, get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. And because, and what I tell my clients and students, right, is one of the greatest gifts that we have as divine human beings is the gift of choice. I get to choose to perceive this. And what I love, about the harmony, right? I get to choose no matter what the appearances are. Let me choose to see the harmony. And one of the questions that I have for myself when there seems to be shit going on, right? I get to ask myself, okay, where is the good I've not seen yet? Because it's there.
Exactly.
Because it's there. And if I'm seeking the good, then I'm going to see it, right? Seeking you shall find. But also, when you've heard the saying before, right, my brothers, that what we seek is seeking us. What I truly have come to realize is that what I'm seeking, I am. So there is no seeking except for being still and knowing.
And the I am is just bringing it to my awareness to be aware of it.
Right.
To be more confident in what the Creator created.
Yeah, man.
You see. It's like we're on our unique journeys that will have experiences that will be unique for our purpose of being. That's the only
Right.
way I see it. Nothing has ever been wrong.
Nothing.
Right.
For our purpose of being. And
Yep.
to perceive, there's a friend of mine named Michael Bogar. He calls it soul making. It's from a guy named Keats, who was in England back in the day. I don't know, it's a long time. He calls it soul making, that each of us are on this path of creating an individual soul based on our walk.
Our walk.
That's it, based on our walk.
See,
And how my soul's being made, how Ron's soul's being made, how Eugene's soul's being made, how each of us are being created based on how we perceive it, all of it.
Exactly.
The darkness, the light, the whatever it is finding my unique purpose in that moment.
Exactly. It's all my unique preparation. See, my unique preparation. This is happening with me. You might not understand it. See, what is being asked of me, am I trusting it?
Am I trusting it?
Which is
for this guy can be very, very difficult sometimes. And that's when I start getting twisted, is not trusting it, because sometimes I don't, and I start spinning, like, for example, right now, there's this, a brand new teen center that's down the street from my house. And I've been working to get in there because I want to work with the kids. I want to give back what was so given to me so generously. So I got this present, and it's a city-run thing down there. And I got a presentation down there tonight from 5 to 6. And I'm just going to go in there and be with the teens, man. And so that's part of my path and my unfolding. And there's part of me that can't wait, and there's part of me that's terrified. It's like, what if these kids? And I'm not really afraid of them.
Right.
I'm not afraid of them because I've been around with the kids, I mean, it's like, but there's still that human part of me that's like, just, what if it doesn't land? What if they don't invite me back? That human stuff. And that's part of what I'm like, I want to lean now into Ron B's words of trusting all of it and the harmony of it. You know what I mean? As I prepare to go in there, because I can mind fuck myself into how it could all go wrong or how it could all go right. But something's going to happen in that hour that I spend with them that's filled with purpose.
Right.
Exactly. And it's from that place. Now, I've been chosen to be the instrument of that purpose.
Right.
And then I get to hear, what my mind starts to go saying and everything. And then it's like, I get to be with every part of me that feels that way with compassion. Mm-hmm. I understand.
Right.
I understand. In one of Osho's reading, it said there's only two people: those that understand and those that don't.
Right.
And then he said, those that understand now must have compassion for those
who don't. That's right.
You see,
that's
so
right.
Therefore, there is nobody else. It's only me. So what it told me was, now I have to have that compassion for that part of me that feels afraid.
Yep.
Right.
I have to have that. I have to have compassion for that part of me that's not understanding. That not clear. I have to have compassion because that's the only way that love can come in. Right. And now I get to say and listen. I get to really hear what I'm saying to myself, and then I get to ask, is that true? Is that true? Is that what I want? If it's not true and if it's not what I want, what am I saying it for?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then and then when I have that understanding and then that compassion, then I have the opportunity to be authentic.
Yes.
And then the power of love can really come through because I'm not trying to shuck and jive.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that we're being asked. Get the little mind out the way so that the big mind, the creator, knows what needs to be done, can have an instrument. That's all it's needing, just needs instruments. See, I'm realizing now there's nothing to teach anybody, tell anybody. It's only to be a reminder.
Right. I've been saying that for a while, right? That we're not, because you've heard the saying, right? We have come here come here to learn, you know. Say, no, we've come here to remember.
Exactly. Remember
You know?
and remind.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, for me, I get to remind people, not just through my words, but especially through my example of who I am being.
See, that's
Right.
the best way.
Right. So, Charles, you know, this evening with that beautiful opportunity to show up, right? You just get to be you. Because this is the thing I know about teens and kids, right? They smell bullshit a mile away.
Absolutely.
they
most
know
people
when
do.
most people do, especially kids and teens. They know when one is inauthentic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you could see the workings of intelligence today. You could see it. I could see it right now just by hearing what Reverend Charles was talking about, and then feeling its vibrations and realizing there was no mistakes, that this just took place.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
which is revealing everything is in divine order. Our very heart's desire are being heard.
Right. Right. Exactly.
They're being heard. I just need to know, where am I coming from?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
See, am I coming from a place of I'm one with God, so I know all of my needs are met? Or do I realize in a moment that I'm, in a sense of separation?
You know, that reminds me, brother, that I'm going through John Randolph Price's the Abundance book, which I've done a few times in the past, and I'm not the same person I was then that I am now, right? And so the very first concept is, and the whole is the very first concept is God is lavish, unfailing abundance, right? But all the rest of them basically are reaffirming, oh, but that's who I am. That's who I am. I am that lavish, unfailing abundance. And there's nothing. My responsibility, I love today's, my responsibility is to recognize that. That's all.
And let me hear what I'm saying.
Man.
Let me hear what I'm saying that contradicts that truth.
Right. And not just the words that I'm speaking, but more importantly, let me hear what I'm thinking that contradicts that truth.
Exactly.
You know, I was doing a talk this past Sunday, and I mentioned, my ego used to get in the way. After the talk was done, we're on Zoom, and this woman said, Eugene, I had no idea that you had an ego. I'm like, you have no clue that I have to work with this thing every single day. What am I listening to that contradicts this truth? Oh no, you're not wanted here, because this is the truth of who I am, and this is who I am being.
Yeah. And I've even stopped denying or neglecting. If I'm experiencing it, you are. Nothing's out of order. Nothing's wrong. So if I'm hearing a part of me say something,
that's a reminder.
That's not true. It gives me the practice now to have compassion and be open to what it needs to hear in order for it to be assured.
Yes. Yep.
See, my finite mind ain't going to know that.
Yeah.
You see, that's what got me into the addiction before.
In the first place, right?
In the first place, listening to my finite mind.
That's right.
You see?
I want to switch reels here real fast. Switch reels. Brad Pye Jr. in LA. Switch reels. And ask my brother Reverend Charles Hall, Sea Dog. What's on your heart? It's probably, we just keep going on what we're talking about, but what's on your heart, bro? Because I know we only got a few more minutes with you.
Well, what's on my heart now is what we've been talking about. That's what's on my heart. You want me to just bring up a whole new topic?
Nah, not necessarily. So.
I mean, that's on my, I mean, that's insightful. It's deep. It's rich. I exactly what got me into addiction is trying to control my life and holding on with both hands and both feet and wrapped around, the whole thing and not surrendered. I mean, that's where deep pain comes from. And I thought that I had been accumulating so much spiritual information over the course of my life. I've been accumulating spiritual information for most of my life. I thought that just by doing that, I had the ticket. And I didn't have, more than anything, I was getting more and more confused and more lost because I was getting more up here and I didn't know how to do this. And what I'm hearing, everything that we're talking about is right here. You know, it's who said, is it in there's some sort of curriculum where the guy says, when you pray, drop your head into your heart. Maybe Jesus said that too, but there's another, you know, the wisdom's wisdom, wherever it comes, drop your head into your heart. And the further I got down, just trying to, you know, and you see so much of it now, right? Like, let me manifest this. Let me demonstrate this. Let me get, right? That I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and I have this need. I had this need to be significant somehow, wherever it came from, this need to be significant, right? And so that created this particular brand of selfishness for me. Look at me over here. So if I look at a picture of the planet, I can't see myself on that thing, you know, this little speck going, look at me, I'm over here, I'm significant, you know, God made me in its image and likeness, et cetera, et cetera. But everything, all these conversations I'm having in the last couple of weeks, since I've had this conversation with this guy, are bringing me back to this idea of, if I stop one little speck on that blue circle going, hey, look at me over here. And I start, in the whole consciousness of all of it, just like Ron B was just saying, is not to say, look at me over here, but to be a living reminder of loving more, how the entire ball that we live on starts to change.
Come on now.
And so I thought for so long the game was, let me learn all these spiritual principles so I could get the life. Let me get the life. Let me get free. And I had the whole game twisted. The whole game twisted for the entire time. Let me learn all the principles. Let me learn all the secrets. Let me learn the secret. Let me get all this so I can get mine. And somehow I missed along the way. Give it. I missed along the way. Be the Christ presence. Remember that you're already made in the image and likeness and whole and complete, and start sharing it. And then the significance is determined from that.
Right.
Then whatever, the Christ presence, you know, whatever I feel about myself and my life and my accomplishments and this and that are what they are. So what's on my heart? I guess that, just like I'm realizing more now that if we want to have a transformation of a planetary transformation of consciousness, number one, anybody else's consciousness is none of my business. It's only mine. That the unwavering responsibility right here is the only thing I need to be responsible for. But then I get to be a living reminder in my local environment, wherever I am.
Right.
And that's that. And that's me to perceive that there's a harmony that's happening and to be a contributor to that. Not in significant ways, but just in ways. And just play the game like that. So, that's what's on my heart. I mean, this is all on my heart.
That's what we're talking about. You know, being the reminders. I mean, we're not here. I tell people in class, I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't already know. You may hear it in a different way, but there's something in you that's going to go, oh, I know that. Yeah, I'm just here to remind you. And I think as we're on this spiritual path and as we do the work that we do, as we be who we are here to be, and just surrendering to being, you know, one of the things that came up for me today in a visioning process is to continue to up my discipline of truth and faith. The word truth and faith for me right now is a discipline. It's a way that I live. It's a way of life. So let me have the life, living a life of truth, living or trust, I should say, not trust in faith. You know, trusting that all is well because it is, and then seeing it, and then as you were saying, you know, Brother Ron, and then listening to that voice that tries to say something that's not that, you know. And for me, either having compassion for that little small part, or just ignoring it and going, okay, thanks for sharing. But the truth is, I trust. And thank you for reminding me. I love that voice. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nothing's out of order.
Nothing's out of order.
God is all there is.
Right. Period. Next.
Yes. It's the only activity taking place. I mean,
no matter what the activity is.
No matter what the activity is.
No matter what the activity is.
Life is eternal. So all so the people that are seemingly dying according to the world are really playing a part. They're saying, hey, you guys still want to keep doing this?
Yep.
Right.
That's right.
You want to keep doing this? Who? And I always have to bring it back to me. Where am I?
Right.
Being anywhere like that.
Right.
You see,
right.
See, my addiction, Reverend Charles, was all about escaping.
Mm-hmm.
See, I needed to escape what my mind was saying was real and going on. You see, but once I got clean and began being open to the path, then I was shown everything. When I was in the early parts of treatment, I was only thinking about my kids. And one of my peers in treatment with me said, "Those are not your kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They came through you.
Right.
And they belong to God, and God is going to take care of them.
Ooh-wee.
At this particular time, you need to take care of you." Because without you, they don't have a father.
That's right.
Yeah. And on the path that you were on, that was slowly getting ready to, remove itself. So these are the thoughts that I was being brought to. My intention in the beginning was, let me be the best person that I could possibly be.
Yeah.
And not knowing how.
Right.
You see, just choosing that. And then everything began to reveal itself. Going back to different churches and hearing, don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle.
Yeah.
And being open to be guided. Only to get to agape, hear two notes on the piano and break down in tears.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
You see. So all that is, was reaffirming you're in the right place.
That's right.
You're in the right place. Now, quit thinking and be with self. Be with knowing who I am and hearing what I'm saying I am. And are the two in harmony, in alignment? Or is they going in separate directions? This is what I had to know about me. I mean, the world is always now is just seeking, our attention. When the word was keep the attention stayed on God, and everything will be in perfect harmony and right.
Right. I will keep the imperfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee.
You see? But what is the world doing?
Distracting.
Exactly.
Seduction.
Right.
Seduction.
And therefore, everybody's feeling, powerless.
Yeah. Right. Well, there's so many things going on, but that we could anyway.
And we don't need to do all that. The world knows where the illness is.
Right.
It's studied on the illness. We know where the issues are. We have to keep coming back to this, what we're talking about right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
The word is freedom.
It is.
Right.
It's freedom. And that people think they have to, we're locked into this suffering. There's suffering, and we can or we can't. And I was interested in suffering for a long time, man. For whatever reason, still I started waking up. So,
yeah. I like you go. I like what you said.
Grateful, man.
Said
Gratitude.
Yeah. For waking up, because when we're not awake, we don't even know why the suffering is going on. This is just, for me, this is what I'm used to. This is how it's supposed to be. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. We were born free. So freedom is the word of the day, y'all. When I say y'all, I mean everybody who is tuning in.
Freedom. I'll take it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, because all the qualities I'm realizing that are of the Creator, that are of love, they can't be known. They're too vast to be known. Mm-hmm. So the finite mind trying to know these things is useless. The key now is having the attitude to experience it. Let me just be willing to experience the fullness of love, the fullness of God, the fullness of abundance. Let me be willing, not let me start getting into my finite mind trying to make that stuff happen.
Mm-hmm. It's impossible to make something happen that's already is.
Exactly.
It just is.
Exactly. You know,
and we're in the midst of, Ron touched on this a few minutes ago, no beginning, no end. We live in an isness.
Exactly.
Right. So part of what I had to get to as well, and it's still a mind job for me, is that I'm not attempting to get to a destination. I'm attempting to live, to be.
Yeah.
And which was part of my healing too in addiction, because I was trying to get everywhere.
Exactly.
I was trying to get everywhere. And I had to realize there is no place to get to. There's no destination of being a parent to my daughter. There's just being with her.
Exactly.
Right? There's no destination to us right now doing what we're doing. There's simply an offering of our life, right?
Exactly.
So, right. Yeah.
It's just experience. We're just
experience.
Yeah. And that's all that life really is experiences.
That's it. And see, if we just gather the information that experience have brought, we can eliminate a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
See,
that didn't work.
My thought is, what's up with you leaders that really have to think war is the answer?
That's right.
Come on, man.
Psychosis, man. Psychosis.
Exactly. There's an underlying need that they are running off of that's not true.
Right.
See, that's not in harmony with all.
Man, see, you just brought us something that we would need another hour to talk about, but we don't have that time. But we can pick it up the next time.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
You get feedback.
It's the consciousness that brings these experiences.
Yes.
Right. See? Yeah. Cool. Oh man, as much as I would love to keep going, my brothers, we need to cut this one for now. But I'm gonna everybody who's watching, I'm gonna have these brothers back on again very, very, very soon, so we can continue in this conversation that is so necessary these days, right here, right now. Because the three of us are really here. I'm very clear that we're here as reminders, right? That's all that this is an exercise in remembering, remembering who we are, and remembering who you are. So once again, I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the upper room, where we have a wonderful, beautiful time, right? So the upper room comes on live Wednesdays at 12 Eastern time, and you can always catch the recordings on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. Until next time, my beautiful people, peace and blessings.
Peace.
Peace.